Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I am checking out the reformulated DIOR Backstage Face and Body. Retails for $43 for 1.7 fluid ounces of product. Oh, I didn't look how many milliliters that is. They say 50 grams, but this is a liquid for it should be. Yeah, I'm on Sephora's app here. Well, take that for what it's worth. Now, note, most foundation bottles are 1 ounce, so a $43 foundation for 1.7 ounces, that's just over $25 an ounce. So that, I mean, some of the drugstore foundations are selling at $22, $23. So this is a very reasonably priced foundation, especially for a prestige brand. I'm counting 43 different shades that it's available in. I got some stories to tell about the shades. I got this in shade 1.5 neutral because that's what I reviewed the original formula in. By the way, the packaging's very similar. The only way to really tell at a glance which one's which is that the old logo had the lowercase lettering and the new logo has all uppercase lettering, but I had originally reviewed this in 1.5N, so I figured I would get 1.5N in the new one to compare them. And then when I went to grab my old bottle, this is 1CR. And I thought, what the heck? Why do I have 1CR when I know I reviewed 1.5N? Well, then I remembered that I had reviewed based on these tiny little sample bottles that I got, none of which I can't find a 1.5N. I must have used it all up because in my original review I really liked this foundation. So I've got shade, I think it's 1N and 2N, and so I don't have 1.5N. So when we do the swatches, I'm going to swatch all of my DIOR shades against the new one, and so at least you can compare those, and then we'll do the normal swatches as well. But let's take a look at what they describe this as. A hydrating foundation that delivers buildable coverage for face and body, resists heat and humidity, and leaves a luminous makeup look. Now, the reformulation has some more skincare in it than the original did. It's got squalane and hyaluronic acid. The product still has added fragrance in about the middle of the ingredient list. They also list alcohol. They don't say whether it's denatured alcohol, which is drying, or like one of the hydrating alcohols, the ones that end in YL. Most of those are hydrating ones, like cetyl alcohol, etc. They don't say which one it is. It just says alcohol. My guess is it's a drying alcohol. That would make the most sense for a liquid fluid, like thin consistency product like this that dries down quickly. It's probably the alcohol doing that. There are hydrating ingredients in here. So the first one, same situation with the alcohol and the fragrance, was not drying to me. I could wear it multiple days in a row, even in the winter with no problem. So, you know, I'm not someone that avoids alcohol in my ingredients because I'm not sensitive to it. I only avoid it if it's formulated in such a way that the company's using it as a filler and it hasn't been balanced out with other hydrating ingredients, because things like denatured or SD alcohol can be drying to the skin, and I already have dry skin. But if it's formulated well and there are enough hydrating ingredients to balance it out, it won't be drying on the skin. So that's kind of, I have to judge by my own experience with it. So, you know, you can't really look at the package and be like, that's going to work for me. I can guess based on the other ingredients. So that's a long way to say this one traditionally has not given me trouble, even though it does contain alcohol. My guess is it's probably a drying alcohol. They would have said otherwise if it was a good alcohol. So that's where we're at with this one. Let's run through some swatches and compare to my other DIOR shades and to some of the other foundations in my collection. Swatch time. We are going to do 2 sets of swatches today. So these are all DIOR Backstage. The first swatch is the reformulated new, and the second, third, and fourth swatches are the original formula. So the first swatch is DIOR Backstage new formula in 1.5N. Second swatch is original DIOR Backstage in 1N. The third swatch is the original DIOR Backstage in 1CR. And the last swatch is the original DIOR Backstage in 2N. And here is round 2 with the usual suspects. So the first swatch is the new DIOR Backstage in 1.5N. Second, I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15 Rest in Peace Trustable MAC Shades. And finally, the fourth swatch is Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 49-year-old face. I think that's the first time I've said this in a review. My birthday was a couple weeks ago. I have primed with my handmade Bakuchiol cream, which is back in stock on my site, qcsoap.com. I'm going to go in on one side of my face with a damp sponge, other side, BK Beauty 101. Why do I always want to sing that? I don't know. BK Beauty 101. Like, I kind of want to be a cheerleader. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's shake this puppy up. I did already shake it, but I feel the need to do it on camera. I don't know why. I don't know. Same old packaging in the little squeezy bottle here. Let's see what we got consistency-wise. There's the drip down. I can go neutral or cool with my undertones. I am neutral leaning just the tiniest bit cool. In the winter is basically when I'm cool. In the summer, if I have any sun at all, which I usually get about half a shade of sun to my face, even though I'm religious about my sunscreen, so I usually pick neutral for like during most of the year, and then winter I would pick cool undertones. I prefer the look of a cool undertone on me. That is just a personal preference. My mirror is really far away right now. I'm not sure why. I must have been trying to... I don't know what I was doing. My vanity is still a mess. I've been saying that since Ireland, right? Yeah, I have not. I try. I get sort of cleaned up. And then... disaster. Alright, here's one coat with the sponge. Applied very easily. It's pretty sheer coming in with the sponge. I can still see all my sunspots. You do get a little bit of redness correction going on, even when you apply it sheer. In their instructions, they say you can do a very sheer coat, like with fingertips, or I like a sponge for my sheer coats, and wear it that way, or you can do 2 thin coats for a medium coverage, or you can do like power coverage, and they say 3 thin coats buffed in with a brush. So you really can apply this any which way. Let's try the brush side. Now, since I already have experience with the original formula, you know, I am expecting to like this, which I don't think that's necessarily a bias. It's more like, if I don't like it, I'm going to be really disappointed because I already have an expectation of liking it, if that makes sense. Actually, this is a pretty true neutral. I'm feeling like, well, I probably haven't faded yet from the little bit of color that I had from this summer, but this shade looks quite nice, I think. Maybe this is my actual shade. I've been saying lately that I kind of been going for slightly darker. Like, I'd rather go darker than, like, be a little too dark than a little too light. I'm also giving a very, very, very challenging face to this foundation today, because ever since that Amazon foundation, that Assam, whatever that German brand was, I've been peeling like crazy. I don't know if it was like chemical burn kind of situation or I'm just sensitive to something in it, but that stuff messed me up. And like, not just peeling, flaking like normal winter retinol, tretinoin flaking. Like, I'm talking like my skin was falling off my face. Like I had a wicked sunburn. But yeah, so I'm peely all over the place, and that's why I love that DIOR foundations work really well at hiding all that. Like, I'm not even seeing my peels. I'll probably see them later. Definitely better coverage with the sponge brush if you're going for coverage. If coverage is your jam, I like medium coverage. I don't want to see these sunspots. And since I don't want to see these sunspots, I'm going to go in with a little bit more over here and try to cover these puppies up. Because, you know, we're not a fan of the freckles and the sunspots. I used to be teased mercilessly. And I know, so many people will comment that, oh, but your skin is so good, you don't even need coverage. No, I got teased mercilessly as a child, and I don't want to see my freckles. I don't want to see my freckles. I don't want to see my sunspots. While I have moved on from that, it's just I don't want to see them. I just don't want to. I don't want to see them. So that is what it is. And if I don't want to see them and I can wear makeup, I'm gonna wear makeup. That's just what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this stuff is pretty. Goodness gracious, this is a good. I need to wear this more often. They called it luminous in the description, and I've always kind of thought of it more as a soft, like a satin matte. And the way it's wearing on me right now, I feel like it's a satin matte. It's got just a smidge of reflect, so it's not flat looking, but it is I don't know, that soft matte look. Like that, just, it comes across as a matte. I have a feeling that might be part of the trend of using the word luminous when you are referring to the skincare that is going to make your skin more luminous over time, as opposed to intending it to mean the finish of the foundation. I find that very confusing. It's a marketing trend that I'm not a fan of, because we had all been kind of conditioned to think of luminous as dewy in finish, not in skincare when we're talking about foundation. So anyway, that is just my personal opinion on that. Let's zoom in so you guys can see how pretty this one is. I built it up to a good medium coverage, and I think it is accomplishing that. My sunspots are just barely visible. For the challenging face I am throwing at this, I am actually kind of dumbfounded at how little I can see any of my flaking. I've got like a smidge of a flake visible on the upper lip. It is not looking bad on my nose. It's not settled into pores. It's very smoothing on my texture. Even the texture between my eyebrows is very nicely smoothed out. It's not settling into lines. It's not doing anything that I don't like. I even have peeling skin. My non-nose ring side of my face, my right side of my face, right next to my, like right under my eyebrow and to the right of my eye, has some peels going on, and you can barely tell. Like, you can barely see my texture. Like, this stuff is... Oh, I do love this foundation, and so far, I feel like the difference is going to be in how it wears, if there is a difference. Now, the original wears wonderfully on me. Like they claim, it holds up to heat and humidity and sweating and whatever you're really going to throw at it. My question for today is going to be, does it dry me out by the end of the day? Have they maintained that good balance with any alcohols in it that would potentially dry my skin out? Because if it's going to dry me out, by the end of the night, I'm going to feel tight. I'm going to start seeing drag lines where I really don't want to see them, and micro wrinkles start being way more visible and prominent than they otherwise are. So those are the things I'm hoping not to see later on by the end of the night, and hopefully this will hold up and be lovely. Let's check the time. It is 3:58 p.m. Yeah, I'm getting a late start, and it's gloomy outside, so it's dark in here. 3:58, 3:59. Let's call it 4 o'clock so I don't forget. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the reformulated DIOR Backstage. It is looking good, y'all. It's looking good. It's looking good. So far, so good. It's actually been a while because I filmed a couple of things. I filmed concealer review intro with one of the K-Beauty ones, the Sam Tip Concealer, which is supposedly Korea's #1 concealer. So I am wearing that. I also filmed this eye look with the Alamar Destino palette, and I think it's gorgeous. Alamar is the brand from the friend of Kathleen Lights from back in the day. I don't know how I remembered that, but This was part of this month's November Ipsy BoxyCharm. So gorgeousness, gorgeousness. I did film the tutorial close up if you want to keep your eyes open for that. I don't know if it'll be right before this, right after this. I'm wearing the bronzer that I got in my Yes Style haul, the Too Cool for School. I'm liking it. It's like not quite a contour shade and not quite a bronzer shade. It's right in the middle of the two. But because I kind of bronze tour and cheat with my contour by using bronzer for it, it works really well. But it doesn't look odd on the forehead because it's just enough of a bronzer. I'm liking it. It's different. It's different than normal things that I've tried. I don't have anything like this. And I love the packaging. It's so cute. I'm digging the heck out of this right now. My blush is the Lawless Watermelon. I always go back to it because it's so pretty. It is what it is. My lip is the Jones Road lip pencil. They just came out with lip liners. The Jones Road lip pencil in mauve and Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick. How did I already forget the shade? Taupe Beige. And it's lovely. I love this color. This is beautiful. It's exactly what I hoped it would be. Also in this month's Ipsy. And, oh, I have to show you. It was also in Ipsy. This highlight, come on. Shut the front door. Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown's old brand. She's with Jones Road now. But this is the brand she had founded in her name that continues in her absence. Look at this. Come on. It is the kind of highlight that you can buff into the skin. Oh, I'm so happy right now. I can't even tell you. Benefit, 24-hour. This was in the glam bag in Ipsy. I did an Ipsy face. I filmed my Ipsy. That's my brows today. Mascara, also this was in the icon box with Ipsy, the quarterly icon box. Oh, Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. So good, so good. I do have my Estee Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge on my lower lash line. I think that's all my makeup. It was a very exciting day putting makeup on today. I was digging all of it. I'm so stoked with it. I'm just happy. Very happy. It's gloomy out, so I'm going to probably have to run outside and get you guys a daylight check-in before all the sun is gone, which I'm filming this the day before the end of daylight saving. No, it's tonight. Oh, daylight savings time is ending. It's going to be dark even earlier. Why can't we just keep daylight savings time? Why do we have to switch all the time? I wish they would just get rid of it. I want to keep daylight savings time all the time. That's what I want. Now I'm just distracted. What was I even talking about? I don't even know. Okay, so that's all the things on my face. I'm gonna go get you guys a daylight check-in. I don't think I'm going to get a sandwich today. It's been a very long time since I've done a foundation review where I'm not following it up with a sandwich. Oh, maybe I will get a sandwich. I don't know. What time is it? It's already 5:24. Told you it's been a while. Dinner sandwich? Maybe I'll get a dinner sandwich. I'll keep you posted. I'm going to go do my stuff, get you a daylight check-in, and I will come back tonight and give you guys my final thoughts. It is 5:46 p.m. Do you hear, like, what are those, like, crickets? Do you hear that? It sounds like nighttime already. It's not even 6 o'clock. What are those? Are they crickets? I don't know. Here's where we are with the Dior. It's gorgeous. I mean, that Bobbi Brown highlight. Oh. Shade match. I actually think this shade is okay for me. I don't think I need to go lighter. Because, I mean, that's my neck. I think we're all right. Do you hear that? It is kind of relaxing. And it is kind of nice out. We just had some very chilly weather, but now it's back to like in the 50s. It's supposed to be in the 60s. That would be normal. But there you have it. There's where we're at. A couple hours in. Almost. I'll be back tonight. We'll wrap this one up. 12:14 a.m. That puts us just past the 8-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the reformulated DIOR Backstage held up. It's beautiful. What else can I say? It has not dried me out, so they have indeed balanced out any potentially drying ingredients with hydrating ingredients. I feel like it performs just as well as the original. I've taken this hoodie on and off several times today. I've got no transfer on my hoodie. I've got nose blowing situation as per usual. I did so good up until about 10 o'clock tonight, and then I had to blow my nose like 856 times, and you can barely tell. The only product that's missing is like right here. Wow. You know, there aren't many foundations that can hold up to nose blowing. Let's zoom in so you guys can get a look at what I'm seeing here in the 10X. You know, I told you I have super, super peeling skin right now, and even 8 hours later, this is another way that I know that it's not drying me out, because those edges of flaking skin would be extremely visible if they were drying out at this point, and still, I can barely tell where they are. I can see a little bit on my chin, a little bit on that spot above my upper lip, and that's really it. My nose, you can tell I blew it a little bit. You know, I'm missing a little bit of product on there, but overall it looks great. Blush, bronzer, highlight are still essentially perfect. They look the same as when I applied them this morning. Nothing bunched up in between my eyebrows, nothing caked up on my forehead, nothing settled into lines, nothing moved around. I don't even feel like anything faded. Like, it's worn phenomenally. I'd say it's got quite a few hours left in it if I needed to have a longer day out of this, which I normally do. I'm usually wearing it for a 10+ hour day as far as my work day and things go. But if I had to give a grade to the reformulation, I didn't know it could get any better, but they took an awesome thing and they added squalane, and it's one of my favorite skincare ingredients. Bravo. I'm here for it. Super happy that I have this. I actually think this shade is better on me than I had anticipated, and maybe I'll go back and get the 1CR in the new formula. Possibly. We'll see, because when I swatched these, I feel like 1.5 neutral is like the shade of me currently, and then 1CR matched like the palest part of my hand perfectly, so that's probably my dead of the winter shade. All right, I'm good with both of these. I'm very pleased. I am happy with this reformulation, and it's working well for me. Have you tried it? Are you a fan of DIOR? I've had really good luck with DIOR foundations. My skin seems to like them. I'm glad. No complaints there. If I had to give a grade, gotta give it an A. They made a good thing better. Yep. Happy day. Happy day. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments, what would you like to see next? I picked up the Givenchy Glow. I picked up the Shiseido. I picked up the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. I picked up something else that I can't remember. I picked up 2 more from Yes Style. What else should I grab? Or which one of those do you want to see next? Let me know in the comments. I keep a running list. I buy them any chance I get. If you want some behind the scenes action, check out my Patreon. Link is in the description box. Everything I'm wearing is linked down below as well. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.